Peace, world, peace, peace. What is going on? Welcome to another Substantial Weekly. Let me double check something because I think my mic off. That should be better. Peace. What is going on, world? Welcome to another Substantial Weekly. My name is Substantial. Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that subscribe button. A lot to talk about today. A couple updates. We're going to be talking about the upcoming tour. We'll be talking about the return of Substantial Sundays, but like Sub Porter exclusive format only. Yeah, man, couple things, and then of course live Q&A. I don't expect a long show today, but I know how y'all go, man. That Q&A, y'all will ask something super deep, and you know I'm long-winded, so we may be here a while. Hopefully it's a shorter one today because there's a lot going on behind the scenes that I gotta take care of. But yeah, man, hope everybody's doing well. If it's your first time and you don't know how these run, and even those of you returning, make sure you say peace in the live chat here on YouTube, and be sure to share where you're watching from. You know, we love to see our global community and all of that, man. Appreciate y'all. So shout out to my man Early Bird, who of course is early, you know. Ousted Peace, what's going on? Got the day off. Oh, okay, man. Safe travels to you. About to catch a flight. That's what's up. Kyle Samuels, peace, what's going on? And hey, what's going on, nephew? How you doing? Happy Friday to you. Shout out to Frank joining us as well. Peace, what's going on? NYC is in the building. VA is in the building as well, amongst other places. So yeah, man, trying to resolve some technical issues that have happened the last few weeks where there's been a delay. So that's why the format looks a little different on the screen. We'll see if that makes a difference or not. You know, I figured out some ways to adjust it and make it so it doesn't you know, cause that issue again. But we will see. Stuff happens, you know what I mean? We'll do our best to adapt per usual. But let me share one thing in the back real quick, just to make sure that we get everybody here. Something else that's been going on, as I've mentioned before, there's been an issue with me broadcasting directly to Facebook nowadays. So that, I think going forward, we're strictly going to go back to YouTube only, without me trying to put it on every platform, because yeah, man, most of you are here on the YouTube channel, and I'm grateful for that. A few watch on Twitch. I would say Facebook normally gets the second most, you know, in terms of participation. But because of these recent issues, it doesn't seem like it will be worth my time going forward to keep trying to resolve that. Although I'm a little sad, because fun fact, you know what I'm saying, Mama Substantial, my mom, she typically watches on Facebook, and so I'm a little sad that she, you know what I'm saying, like, you shout out to the people of a certain age who refer to shows as programs, you know what I'm saying. My mom, whenever I see her or talk to her, she's like, I got to see your program, I saw your program, baby. And so I'm a little disappointed that the Facebook thing is an issue, because that's how my mom usually gets to watch the show when she tunes in. So yeah, man, she almost never watches live and stuff. She catches the replay later, but it's a little disappointing that that's the situation going forward, but it is what it is. Regardless, I'm happy to see you all here. Let me grab this one thing real quickly, and then we will keep it pushing. Yes, I think I got it. There we go. All right, sorry about that. See if this works now. Boom, there it is. All right, cool. Just sharing the link in one more location. All right, cool. Think that should work. All right, so on that note, let's get yeah, man, gotta love moms. You gotta love moms. All right, so I think we are good. Yeah, it did it. All right, cool. So on that note, let's get into it, shall we? So one of the first things that I want to jump into, something I already mentioned, which is the return of Substantial Sundays. This is somewhat of a big deal for those of you who've been watching me go live online for quite some time. You will know that, you know, I've been doing these live broadcasts almost weekly, you know, rarely missing more than like, you know, I mean, usually it's every week. Sometimes it's once every 2 weeks or whatever, depending on what's going on, like if I'm touring or something like that. But I've been fairly consistent. And a lot of this started back on Facebook around the time I did some collaboration and did this, this collabo with Ford Motors. And it started from there and had such a good time doing it that we just kept doing it going forward. Eventually, I named it and branded it Substantial Sundays. It was mostly me in the beginning, and then I brought in my brother Sherm the Barber to join for a couple episodes. People liked the chemistry, so we kept it going. And then additionally, we added my brother James Cash, my man Cash, who some of you may remember the song If I Was Your Mic. I actually shouted Cash out on the beginning of that song because he's the one that gave me the concept for that song many moons ago. So yeah, we had moved to a 3-host format where it was me, Cash, and Sherm for a while. Then eventually we had our own podcast and laid Substantial Sundays to rest. Well, I'm bringing it back, but now the way it's going to work, it's only going to be through my Patreon account and also, it's only going to be available for people who are on Patreon at all levels, no matter what level you're on, whether it's $1 or more per month. And then also making it available to those of you who are Bandcamp subscribers paying $5 a month. So yeah, man, if that's something you would like to check out, be sure to sign up for either patreon.com/substantial, or you can sign up to be a subscriber on Bandcamp. This is just a way for me to do a show that is more focused for the people who are able to support financially, and then also for me to drop some exclusive stuff that I don't drop here on Substantial Weekly every week. So outside of collabos that are on the verge of coming out or solo material that's on the verge of coming out, part of what I'm going to be doing, I think I put them away. Nope, got them right there. Hold up. Yeah, so part of what I'll be doing, and let's switch screens real quick. Hold up, go to the next one. So yeah, so part of what I'll be doing on the show is, you know, so I'll take something like that, right? Let me see what it says. It says Nujabes Tracks. And then I got a ton of mini disc just like this. Got the old school mini disc players and stuff, and then I got my old cassette player as well. And part of what I'm going to be doing is going to talk a lot about things that are happening behind the scenes that isn't public information yet. And so it's strictly going to be giving you guys like the skinny on certain things that are in development, things that, let's say, once were NDA type of things that technically I couldn't talk about, but now that I've got clearance to talk about other things or whatever, I'll be giving you guys heads up there first. And then, of course, eventually in coming weeks on Substantial Weekly. And then stuff like, you know, taking these mini discs, popping them in, and like maybe, you know, not maybe, but definitely letting y'all hear some unreleased material, whether it was like old tracks that I have with Nujabes, old demo tracks and stuff that are for songs that never came out, original versions of songs and stuff, like demos that I recorded over different producers' beats for songs that were like on my first album or other albums I released. There's a ton of material like that, like mixtape stuff that literally came out so long ago it was only available on cassette, and so or CD, but isn't on any streaming platform, isn't on my Bandcamp and things like that. So yeah, so we'll be able to do that type of stuff there. You know me, I'm pretty open and I share a lot with y'all and stuff, but definitely for me to keep doing these type of things, you know, putting certain things behind a paywall. So for those of you who have the means to support, y'all can do so through that. It's just another way to do it. It will not be, just so y'all know, it will not be a weekly thing. I'm just going to do it once a month. And we'll see, like, if it becomes, you know, if we get enough people in there where I can justify like possibly doing it every 2 weeks maybe, or even getting it back to weekly. But, you know, as of right now, it's just going to be a once a month type of thing. So some of it will be playing like tracks that I've already put up on Patreon that are behind the scenes, things that aren't public, like maybe playing it again in the show for those who maybe missed the post. And then, of course, like behind the scenes footage and stuff, like something that I just shared. Like for those who don't know, we just put up some behind the scene footage from the video shoot I recently began for Salt and Pepper. And then I also dropped the remix of Salt and Pepper by Kokai. Is already available on Patreon. Eventually, it's going to go up on Bandcamp as well. I just got to get the formatting right. So blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Substantial Sundays coming back this June 30th. The time is going to be at 3 p.m. My initial plan was to have it a bit later. I have a rehearsal, though, and video shoot this upcoming Sunday. So I have to do it a bit earlier, like around 3 p.m. Eastern time. So that will be about noon on the West Coast. Which may be a bit early for some, but for those of you who are overseas and want to check it out, this might work out a bit better than like, you know, times where I would go live and it was already like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning where you were. But yeah, should be dope. Let's get into some of these comments. Peace. We got India in the house. That's what's up. Hold on. Is the Friday shows going away? That is a great question, Early. So no, still doing Substantial weekly. Going to keep this version of the show. But there are certain things that every now and then I would do on the show, like play certain unreleased audio and stuff. It's not to say I'll never do that on this platform, but it's mainly going to be for stuff that's about like a week away from coming out. But I'm gonna save like those real deep cuts and stuff like that strictly for Patreon. Part of this is an effort for me to be more consistent on Patreon and me to be more consistent on Bandcamp for my subscribers. Apologies to everyone. I know I'm not always actively posting. People who know me personally, like Early, know that, I'm always working, like always working, as I know a lot of us are. But part of what I've taught my students over the years is that I think a lot of us get so lost in social media that we're constantly feeling this need to post everything and this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, there are other things happening behind the scenes that are as important or sometimes more important because it's based on some of the music and some of the other things regarding the music that are happening. And oftentimes there are moments where I fall behind on things like that because I'm spending more time focused on getting the social media things done. And there are times that I let stuff like Patreon and other things fall behind when, people are paying to get access to exclusive stuff. But a lot of times I'm not a person who's always putting up my phone to record everything I do. And so this is an effort for me to be more transparent and be more consistent with everybody who's been supporting me there. And I'm eternally grateful to y'all, man. Like, you don't have to do that. So I just want to make sure I do right by them. And so I figured this is a way to bring something back that everybody liked, but do it in a way where it's like, man, you're really going to get access to some stuff that I don't always talk about or share in a public setting. And you know me, I'm a talkative dude, so I share a lot. So that's saying something. You know what I mean? So definitely look out for that. But Early, thanks for the question. Let's keep it pushing. Applaud that, man. Word. How do you feel your lyrical content has evolved along with yourself? Great question. Switch the background temporarily. So, I think my earlier content, when I was younger, there were things that I didn't know as much about. There was stuff that I cared a bit less about, in terms of, like what language I used and stuff like that. I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about like how offensive certain things may be to certain groups of people, or even the people who knew me. And I think as I've grown and stuff and had a lot more meaningful conversations with people like I barely know and people I know extremely well, your world views can be shaped by these things, and you become a lot more conscious of, you know, what you choose to put out in the world. You know, this music that I make and stuff, these lyrics that I write, the beats that I make, all of these things, they're gonna outlive me. So you know, but being conscious of putting forth my best effort, right, to you know, put something out there that's meaningful, put something out there that's just like, that's really well thought out, avoiding just kind of saying things for the sake of saying things. That's why, like, even when I do my punchline rap nowadays and stuff, you know, or like more battle rap sounding stuff, it's still grounded in reality. You know what I mean? Like when you listen to a track like something like Your Man Though, which on the new album, Your Man Though and Reed Richards are probably the more punchline heavy tracks on the album, the more battle rap sounding type of joints. But even those, it's like when I write these type of rhymes nowadays, they're very grounded in substance, you know what I mean, as well. Like Your Man Though, it says, done failed more times than most can try, traits of a winner, since rocking temper tapers, been trying to taper my temper, a cooler head that's prevailing, but always ready to cook 'em. From Maryland where I'm hailing, but I made my name in Brooklyn, galaxy far away from splash parties and cabarets. My home team colors are mustard and Cabernet, tagging up in alleyways, unsure if we'll graduate. Memories feel like an infinite loop of Saturday cartoons and kung fu theater, seemingly unrelated to you. Realize some of the ish we've been kicking is animated for your edutainment. Only get better and I'ma claim it. Reigning underground champ that never had an arraignment. Wayment. Black of all trades, Renaissance stand, modern day Harlem Renaissance man. Him and his fam, some grown-ups that got more growing to do. 1 2 1 2, living a life I worked toward but never thought it carry through. So like, even when I do those type of rhymes and stuff, it's still grounded in reality. It's not just punchlines and clever wordplay for the sake of it. It's to drive home deeper meanings and to paint more accurate depictions of where my life is currently. And so that's something, you know, that's something I'm much more conscious of these days when I'm thinking about my lyrical content. You feel me? Yeah, thanks for the question, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. Let's get to some of these. Peace. Sorry about that. Y'all got booted out for a quick second, but I am back. Apologies. Yeah, let's get back to these questions. And yeah, man, let me know if there are any other issues that you notice. Definitely doing what I can on my side to resolve issues quickly. Hey, what's up, brother? I performed at Crescendo open mic last night. Hope to meet you next time. It was my first time performing it. Hey, that's what's up, man. Congratulations on that. That's a big deal, man. Shout out to everyone who came out to Crescendo Studios last night for Thursday Mike Live. Shout out to my brother Bo and his team SNRG, man. Shout out to Aaron as well. And just the whole Crescendo Studios family, man. Great people. Love them to death. And if you're in the DMV area, head out to Falls Church on the last Thursday of every month. It's a great open mic that takes place there. A lot of times I go just to hang out and stuff and support other artists. Every now and then I'll pop up and perform, but I'm really just there supporting my fam. And man, shout out to the homie Alan Z, who came out last night, killed it on the open mic. He was the main feature of the event last night, and he's in town doing more events too. So shout out to everyone who came through. Let's keep it moving. I appreciate everything you do for the community, man. Thank you so much for the kind words, yo. Love those old school discs. If you can check out DJ Premier's IG on YouTube, he has some classic stories too. Word, definitely got to check that out. I've seen a couple of things on his YouTube channel as well. All right. This is going to be epic, 100%. Haven't heard, but it sounds dope. Like quality-ish for real. Word. A Salt and Pepper remix. I'm eager to hear that. What that sounds like. Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's like electronic music with like hard like hip hop, like some hip hop influence as well. But then there's like it's heavy like African drums. The joint is it's very different sonically from the original, but it is fire. I remember when I first heard it, when Kokai first sent it to me, Kokai literally remixed Adultish in a weekend, like the whole album top to bottom. So when the Adultish 2.0 finally drops, like at least 4 of the remixes on the project are from Kokai. Yeah, peace, Juan. What's going on? Welcome to the show. Hardest working man in the underground, 2 shows a week. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, not exactly. It's gonna be 2 shows this week. Like last week of the month, I'll be doing 2 lives. But no, it ain't what it sound like. I definitely ain't doing the 2 a week all the time. You know what I mean? Saw you last night on the way out Thursday. I hope to catch up next time. Word, man. Appreciate you. Let's see. Verbal onslaughts. More timelessness. Word. Let's see. The lyrics are hella mature and responsible. Always respect those aspects of your craft. Thank you, man. Doing what I can. Sorry about the camera freeze. You and Sice Star should make a collab project. That would be dope. Yeah, I mean, listen, man. I've told him. I've told DL. I've told other members. All of the folks part of that brotherhood of artists that collaborated with Nujabes. They already know I'm 100% down to do more collabs. Don't know if it'll happen. If you don't know, me and Funky DL already did an EP together where he produced all of the beats and I did the rhymes. We recently had a conversation about the importance of us doing more collabs and stuff, and he already knows I'm 100% down, and I know he is. I just don't know how down everybody else is, and quite frankly, like with this type of stuff, I always prefer the stuff to be organic. I ain't trying to twist one arm to do something that I think could be beneficial to all of us. If they want to do it, if Sice is down to do it, he already knows I'm down to do it. Availability is important too. So, but yeah, we definitely have had these conversations and stuff. We had once talked about an EP or a project with me, him, Marcus D, and Funky DL, with Marcus doing the majority of the beats and stuff, but then obviously DL and possibly me chipping in as well. So, I mean, listen, I still enjoy making music. I think going forward, after this next Bop Alloy record, I'm not sure how many more solo albums I'm gonna do in terms of me producing them top to bottom. I am thinking about doing more instrumental stuff, but I'm just open to the idea of doing more collaborations, period. So yeah, I think, time will tell, but I'm definitely always down to work, man, with the folks I love. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to go next month. Yeah, man, for sure. Another beast. Appreciate you. Seems some finality to we met in Japan, but I'd love to hear more. Word. Yeah, we definitely are talking about it. So More soon come. I will keep you posted for sure. Let's get something back up on the screen though, and we will keep it moving. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Okay, got that. So once again, another reminder, Substantial Weekly, Substantial Sundays making its return this Sunday. It's going to be once a month going forward, last Sunday of the month. Yeah, man, looking forward to doing that. In order to view it though, you have to be a member of my Patreon page, patreon.com/substantial, or you have to be a subscriber on Bandcamp, substantial.bandcamp.com. And then you can subscribe there for $5 a month. On Patreon, you can even go lower. You can do it as cheap as $1 a month. It's just making it so that for those of you who are getting exclusive content, you know what I mean? At least a small contribution, because I know the vast majority of people who listen to my music, they listen on streaming platforms. And quite frankly, you can listen to me 2,000 times in a year on these streaming platforms, and you literally will have contributed $8 to supporting me, right? And so that means if you signed up via Patreon, and even if it was $1 a month, you would literally be giving me $12 a year, which is the equivalent of listening to me 3,000 times, right? And the vast majority of my listeners do not listen to me that much. Of the 5+ million people who have heard me on Spotify, I think almost 500,000 that played me last year, only about 1,000 to 5,000 of them, somewhere around there, have listened to me, are in the top percentile of people who listen to my stuff. And that means people who've played my stuff hundreds to thousands of times. So the reality of it is, the vast majority of the people who listen to my music via streaming only really contribute somewhere between $4 to $8 a year to supporting what I do. And I'm not twisting folks' arm and saying, yo, you got to pay, you got to blah, 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 this, that, and the third. Hey, I completely get it. Do what you can. And so if that's the best way for you to support, so be it. But I do believe in educated consumers, and I'm just letting people know there are more sustainable ways to support artists like me, your favorite artists. And this is really for those of you who would be sad if, I just popped on here one week and was like, yeah, man, I ain't doing this shit no more. And a lot of times when people make decisions like that, it's because this industry is very difficult to make a sustainable living. And I've been lucky enough to make a better living doing it probably than most artists, even though I'm indie. But yeah, it definitely doesn't get any easier. So I'm just trying to do a better job of creating more sustainable ways for people to support, but also doing a better job of giving more consistent content to those of you who do support in a more sustainable way. So love y'all, man. Let's keep it pushing. Let's see what we got next. So quick reminder, SAM Academy, Substantial Art and Music Academy. That is a it is music business classes that I offer with my business partner / wife through Crescendo Studios. We do it once a month. It's usually the first Thursday of the month. In July, it's actually going to be the second Thursday because the first Thursday is July 4th, Independence Day here in the United States. So for those of you interested in taking classes and being able to learn from me directly, you can sign up via crescendostudiosva.com/SAM-Academy. So feel free to sign up. Classes are extremely affordable. They're only $25 per class. You get discount rates if you sign up for multiple classes or the full year. Some of the classes have been pre-recorded already, and one of which has been pre-recorded, but with one of the students. But what I'm doing now is going forward for those of you who are in other cities, other countries, who would like to take these classes and learn from us directly. The online classes are only $20 per. And on top of that, what I'm doing going forward is making time to schedule classes with people who sign up online. So that way it's a live experience and you get to ask questions on the spot. So I'm not really doing more than 1 or 2 of those sessions a month for the online classes, trying to get people to group together as frequently as possible. So that way, when other people watch the pre-recorded ones later, at least they get some questions that maybe I didn't initially cover, but they get some answers that maybe are a bit more specific to certain issues they have outside of the general information that we're sharing. So yeah, man, I highly encourage you to sign up. And if you need some reasons why you should be learning this type of stuff from somebody like me, especially any people that may be skeptical, right? Like, I think those of you who are here who aren't artists, obviously you wouldn't be interested, but let's say you know an artist personally who could benefit. The problem with a good amount of artists, and myself included, is, because we've heard people say stuff various times, a lot of times we feel like, yo, I don't need that because I know about that already. But hit you with the Bruce Lee quote. Knowing is not enough. What was it? What did he say? I'm gonna make sure I paraphrase. I'm paraphrasing, but I want to say it right. It's basically, paraphrase it like this: willing is not enough, or knowing is, there we go. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of people come online and do pitches talking to you about courses they offer, or just offering advice in YouTube clips, telling you about things that they themselves have not done. Or if they have done it, they haven't done it with the level of success that somebody like me has had. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of times people don't deem me as successful through their eyes because I'm not as popular. And popularity a lot of times is, it's one of those things that, one, it's fleeting. Number two, it's not always what you think it is. I know plenty of people who are extremely popular who are broke. Not everybody who's super popular online is caking up. And a conversation that me and Funky DL had is, oftentimes if you don't see me doing certain things online where you think I should be as popular as other artists and people should be interacting with me in that regard, the fact of the matter is, I don't have the time because I'm busy doing the things that people are making videos talking about. Oftentimes, these are things that I'm actively doing. And the example I gave the folks is when the one artist made a video bragging about when they were doing direct to consumer, and then they basically made $11,000 in a 6-month period across multiple platforms without streaming. Right. And the example I gave the folks, I was like, yo, that's impressive. That is impressive. However, if we're talking about resumes, I did roughly, just shy of 19,000 in 47 days on one platform. And then when you throw in the other platforms and stuff, over roughly the same period of time that they were talking about, I did 5 to 6 times the number they were talking about. Thing is, I don't actively post that type of stuff in attempts to market the different folks that convince them to get on. So I would say that if you needed a reason, and this is the last thing I'll say about this before we keep it pushing. If you needed a few more reasons why you should sign up for the Substantial Art and Music Academy, it's because, one, you'd be able to take classes directly from someone who's been in the music industry for 25 years at this point, from the time I signed my first record deal. You'd also get to learn from someone who's currently a board member on the Recording Academy here in Washington, D.C. for the Grammys. You'd also get to learn from someone who has nearly 10 years experience teaching music business classes strictly, outside of over 20 plus years in education in general. You'd also learn from someone in my business partner who's a former grants manager. You learn from a company that has experience helping other organizations, recording artists, bring in over $500,000 in grants, not including the nearly 100,000 that we've made. Pardon me, say that again. Over $500,000 in crowdfunding, and then close to $100,000 in crowdfunding that we've done for ourselves. So that's just some of the resume. And these aren't things that I'm posting about all the time trying to convince people, but these are receipts that are not hard to find if you do your research. So again, Substantial Art and Music Academy, classes are still going on. You should sign up, learn something. You know what I'm saying? You remember, knowing is not enough. We must apply, so let's get to work. Do my best to help folks, where I can. All right. Next up, just another friendly reminder, the Bop Alloy vinyl right now, instrumental versions are available both for Another Day in the Life of and for Substantial and Marcus D are Bop Alloy. You can cop those now through bopalloy.bandcamp.com, or you can get it from marcusd.net. All right, so grab those when you can. Let's get to a question real quick. Last I heard, Sice was doing well, just in a different line of work. I heard he had a ramen stand at one point. I think Pace is the one who actually runs the ramen spot, not Sice. But I haven't talked to Sice in a little bit, so maybe he is. But yeah, he definitely does a different line of work that he's been doing for quite some time, even while he was putting music out. But yeah, that's all I can really say about that. But Tommy says that's what I've been saying. Remix is classic, man. Thank you so much. Shout out to Funky DL. All right, let's get this back on the screen. So reminder. The NPC to NPC tour is starting in 2 weeks. We will be at BlurredCon on July 12th. And then after that, we hit the road and hit the following cities. You can catch us in Washington, D.C. at BlurredCon. It's technically Arlington, Virginia, just outside of D.C. But then after that, we are in Philadelphia at Kung Fu Necktie, Monday, July 15th. July 16th, we are at Elsewhere Zone 1. Performing in Brooklyn. Then on the 17th of July, we are in Baltimore at Metro Gallery. Shout out to all my Maryland folk. And then on July 18th, we are in Richmond, Virginia at the Camel. Tickets are available now. You can grab those at iamsubstantial.com. You can also grab tickets here. Hold on. Grab your tour tickets here. Let's get this link in there. Yeah, my bio site link should have tickets as well. You can check them out here. Let me make sure I spelled everything correctly. Boom, high five for Jesus. Go ahead, grab those. All right, so if you haven't copped your tickets for the tour yet, please do so. Yeah, man, come through. The homie Early Bird's gonna be hanging out with us in Baltimore, holding me down on the merch side of things. So yeah, man, should be really, really dope. And yeah, I will see you there. Warpath, what up? What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Some more show reminders for everyone. So once again, Park Fest is coming up as well. That is actually happening the day after BlurredCon begins. So the evening of July 13th, you can catch me out at Park Fest, making a special appearance. I'll be doing my thing. That is happening at Crescendo Studios. So I'll be leaving from BlurredCon for a little bit to go make an appearance at this other festival that's happening. Should be a great time. Hope to see you there. Also, other than BlurredCon, you can catch me at Conjutsu, which is happening toward the end of August. And then you can also catch me at Otakon, celebrating their 30th anniversary. At Otakon, we're going to be doing super sketch pads all weekend long. And we got appearances by AJ Rios. Who else is coming through? Lizzie Blue is coming through doing a beat set. We got live art by Katie Fox. We got beat sets happening by the homie Edgar Diaz. Then we got Kokai coming through doing a beat set. My daughter Serenity is doing a live drawing session on that Sunday. Ducky Dynamo's coming down from Baltimore doing a beat set and spinning while some more visual artists come through. And yes, we're going to be in the back of Artist Alley. And we'll have that section the whole weekend. Plus, we got the homie Micah Blacklight, who did the art for me for, I mentioned this before, he did the art for Substantial versus Samurai Champloo. And he also did the art for the Edo Bushido single with me, DJ A-Rock, and my brother Asheru. So yeah, man, it's going to be fire. It's going to be super fire. Early, take care, brother. I will see you in a couple weeks, all right? Peace. All right. Yeah, man. So yeah, definitely got a few East Coast tour dates. Got some international tour dates in the works as well, that I'll keep y'all posted on. And we also have, what's it called? There's another potential tour happening that would bring me out west if it goes through. But ladies and gentlemen, everybody hold on for 1 second, because we got a celebrity in the building. Everybody clap it up for my brother J Live. Great to see you up in here, King, man. I got to get you on the show one of these days, bro. We got to plan one. I think next time you got a single coming out, when your next single's getting ready to drop. Or if you want to promote the current single, just let me know and we'll schedule one where you can come on the show, man. We promote your new joint and all of that. And I got an email to send you about a beat that I was supposed to send you months ago, so we can get you on this record. But shout out to J Live. Y'all make sure y'all go over to his YouTube channel and subscribe. If you do not know who J Live is, to quote Justin Hunt, the company man, he would say, punch yourself in the face. J Live, man, is a living legend. More importantly, he is a great brother, you know what I mean? So definitely support that man. Jazz rap legend, superior DJ skills, man. You know, got one of the craziest joints I've ever seen where he's like beat juggling live as he's spitting. Just saying, man, just walking dopeness, you know what I mean? Yeah, definitely support my brother J Live. All right. Also, we got Sketchpads coming up on July 13th at BlurredCon earlier that day. So remember, I told you I got ParkFest that night, but earlier that day, me and Luna Bunny will be doing Sketchpads. She'll be drawing live while I do a beat set. It's going to be super, super dope. Looking forward to it. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah. Let's get that quick reminder. Adultish merch and much more merch still available. Subartmusic.com as well as Bandcamp. But yeah, so if you haven't copped merch recently, there's some old merch you thought you missed out on. Go ahead, head over there and cop that. New merch coming soon. Going to debut some of it on the road. Yeah, so look out for that. Trying to think if I'm missing anything. Well, let's just say this. Right about now, it is time for the Q&A. So, man, if you got questions, you can send that over now. Just send it over when you are ready. While y'all take a second to get your questions in, what I'm going to do is throw a video up. We'll let that ride for a little bit, and then we will answer some joints. Let's take it back to Animal Arithmetic for a second. We're going to play Your Greatest Weapon by me, Katie Fox, featuring the homie Millen. Congratulations to Millen as well. He just got let into he officially is a member of the Recording Academy. So he's a voting member, which means he can vote on the Grammys and take advantage of other things they got going on. So congrats to him. But right now, send in your questions for the Q&A. We're going to take a quick video break and then we will get into those questions. All right.
To put a stop to the anguish, but they don't understand like I'm speaking the dead language. The Bible big before I was ever fed Angus. Went to battle with friends, then mourn for dead strangers. I was bred dangerous, but peace is the objective. Easily subjective to the heathens I connect with. Seem to be respected amongst the beast in my collective. Ignored by the masses, so I speak to the rejected. And the speakers are connected just to amplify a voice. They ain't built for the journey, but I never had a choice. Doubt is louder than cheers, but I'm drowning out the noise. They don't know who we be, like DMX and the boys. So to those who ain't been informed, I am fire in the winter storm. First blooming flower when the winter's gone. Solitude sang by Sarah Vaughan. Every note is integral, but breaks the minimum when the pressure's on. Heart on my sleeve, dirt in my claws, eyes on the prize. Sharpen my teeth, won't food for thought, pride on the side. Guarding the weak, put up my paws, lives on the line. Call of the beast, no matter the cost, I'm fine with the fines. Inclined to find a way when there ain't one in view. Trying to climb, but can't save every one of you. This kind of design is made just for a humble few. Some don't mind the minds and lose no matter what I do. I do what hunters do, fam. I love, pray, and eat. And the tongue that I speak is the drum and the beat that's guiding you through the rhythm of life if you dare to dance. I'm here shining light and help people live out their trance. King, check my pawns in the night and can't advance till we rearrange the game and opponent in their pants. Strengthen our stance, pen in our hands, looking like weapons. Those that understand what we saying, they see the blessing.
Yeah. All right. We are back. Shout out to everyone still hanging with us. It is time for the Q&A. Let's get into it. So, first things first. All right. I believe I answered this already, but can you add Sight Star feature in your new Bob Alloy album? I'm sure Marcus would be as down as I am. It's just a matter of Sice's availability and us finding the right track for him to appear on. So the answer is we're definitely going to try. It's something I believe we already talked about, if I'm not mistaken. But we will see. You know, it's just a matter of his availability and finding the right fit for him. But yeah, man, thanks for the question. All right. Warpath says he got a couple good ones cooked up, so I know we're going to be here for a minute. All right. Next, okay, here's one from Warpath right here. So any rock band, past or present, approaches you for a collaboration, who would you want it to be? That's easy. It would be Radiohead. I've always been a fan of them. You know, I listen to their music here and there. I've owned some of their music in the past, but yeah, it would definitely be Radiohead. Hands down, no brainer. And I know their stuff is, I like them too, because it's not just like the traditional rock stuff, like they experiment as well. And so I think there could be some really interesting stuff there. You know what I mean? Thank you for the question. Kyle asks, who were and are some of your biggest influences in music and the lyrics? I can say Redman, but that's a guess. That's actually a great guess and completely true. Redman has like been one of my favorite rappers since like 92. I used to play him and Ice Cube all the time in middle school. Those were like two rappers I probably played more than anyone at that particular moment. But yeah, it was definitely Redman when I finally started writing rhymes like the following year or two after discovering him, because I was more focused on battle rap and like punchline stuff. So he was a major influence. Just his wittiness. He was always funny. It's like, I love that he was super hood, but he never took himself too seriously. You know what I mean? Because so much of what I see from rappers who are quote unquote from the streets is like, you know, so much of it is like, yo, like no smiling. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't cry. No, we this, we that. Like, and it's just like, yo, it's not a accurate depiction of who we are all the times, like people who are from that. Like, sure, man, we go through hard times, but what I remember growing up more than anything is laughing. Oh my God, yo. And whenever I do an event and I get like all my homies I came up with to come out, just the amount of jokes on stage, off stage, behind the scenes, right there in front of the crowd, like, video shoots we do. Anytime like all my folks I grew up with came out, like people who really from that and all of that, man, like, it's just so much laughter, yo. Like, and so Redman, I feel like he reminds me of so many people who I grow up with. And I think a lot of times people don't give him his flowers because he's not viewed as like the realest rapper in terms of what he's rapping about a lot of times. But when you listen to him, like the wittiness and stuff like that, that feels like so many people I came up with. And so he was very influential. That's why, like, when I do my rhymes and stuff, even the punchline stuff, it's like, clever, try to have some clever wordplay in there and some things that might make you laugh out loud. You know what I mean? Like, I think you hear that a lot on like the projects like the EFAM album. But Redman's one, Common is another one. Early Common, Resurrection years and into like Water for Chocolate and even some of the later projects. Always been very influential as well. Other artists who I know personally, like from Tone Deaf, the Pac FM, to my brother Kokai, people like T. Lucas, who I've been rhyming with since I was like 15 years old. These people have kept me sharp, like early in my career and even now when I listen to what they're currently doing or when we have conversations. These people have always kept me sharp. In terms of music, like on the production side, the Pete Rocks, the Jay Dillas of the world, I believe like I fashioned what I do after them and stuff. Obviously, Nujabes Best a bit later, like, toward the like end of because we didn't start working together till like, he reached out like maybe 99. So I would say early 2000s, obviously, there's some influence there. And then like a lot of the other music I listen to outside of rap, I listen to a ton of Stevie Wonder and stuff, like artists like a Jill Scott and I'm when I say Jill Scott, I'm not talking about Gil Scott Heron, but Jill Scott, the vocalist from Philly. We used to play her music so much, like, that feel good vibe, man. And the reflectiveness in her music, like really, really, in later years. That's why I did that Jack and Jill project, you know what I mean? As a tribute and like hugely inspired by her work. Then artists like Bilal, older artists like Donny Hathaway, even like Bob Marley and stuff when it comes to like socially conscious stuff. And then of course it's like artists that people maybe don't know as well and stuff, whose stuff was very influential to me over the years. People like The Onlyest, who doesn't have a ton of music out there, but in terms of like live performance and backing other artists over the years, they literally performed at my wedding, when my like at my wedding reception, and then like shout out to the homie R&B who sang when my wife was coming out. But yeah, man, I could keep going on and on, but thank you for the question, y'all. I appreciate it. Quick reminder before we continue, if you haven't donated to the channel but would like to do so, you can do so via the super chat button, Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. Never mandatory, always appreciated. Please consider doing that if you have not. Just for those who don't know, if you want to know the best way to do it, if you want to make a donation that gets to me sooner than later, best way to do that is via PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. But if you wish to make a contribution to the channel in the way that's easiest for you, and that's by not having to leave YouTube to do so, you can do so via super chat. Again, never mandatory, always appreciated. All right, let's see if we got any other questions, and then we are going to get out of here. Thank you, fam. Glad you enjoyed the track that I played a few minutes ago. I like how chill the song is. A nice juxtaposition from what someone would expect from Aggro title, Your Greatest Weapon. Yeah, there you go. You know, I think, man, this is going to sound crazy, and I'm going to say this without exposing too much. As somebody who's known his share of violent people, right? Not every person who poses the greatest threat broadcasts that they are a threat. Like, they're not always over the top yelling at the top of their lungs. Very chill. Like, even some of their musical tastes, like dudes I've been around who who've done some dirt, you know what I mean? People with murder records, like, and yeah, have made some some not so great decisions in terms of how they dealt with certain situations in life, but they felt that was the way they needed to handle it. In my experience, not all of them are like, you know, a lot of them are chill people. A lot of them, you know, my uncle would say, when he referred to fighting, he'd say with a real calm voice, I'm like, ain't nothing but something to do. I'm like, sound like an assassin. Like, man, this, you know, it's so I think there's something to, you know, some of the coldest artists, man, like, you know, the lyrical assassins, if you will, out there. Like, when you think of somebody like a Rock Marcy, you know, it's not always in your face, like, yo, ow, ow. You know what I'm saying? It's not that Onyx delivery per se. It's that cool, like, you sure you want this problem? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and sometimes that's scarier than the thing. And so the object of this, of Your Greatest Weapon, wasn't to be, you know, like, it's not about promoting violence as much as it is helping people realize that when it comes to weapons per se, like, your greatest weapon is actually your voice, right? You speaking up, you being present and supporting, like, certain things that you believe that, and basically educating people on these different issues that impact their lives in a real way. And so it's one of the greatest change makers that are out there. Just a conversation with someone who's open to hear a different perspective. You'd be surprised how much it can impact someone, or just sharing words in a certain setting, and those words being heard to somebody whose mind and heart are a bit open to something that they maybe didn't expect or see coming. Just seeing how that impacts somebody in a significant way. What greater weapon or tool exists than that? You know what I mean? And on top of that, when recorded, again, it outlives you, so it can impact future generations and stuff. So that's really what that track is about. But there's a lot of references to different things that sound like it's referring to violence and stuff like that, where a lot of it's metaphorically speaking. And so, yeah, man, it was a fun track to do. Appreciate you, nephew. All right, let's see. Did you ever witness anything ever turn physical or get superheated back when you used to battle? Yeah, I mean, I would say most of the stuff I witnessed, like, it was on the verge of getting there, but it wasn't allowed to escalate to that. But I've definitely seen a few situations that came real close to getting crazy. And then I've had to bow out of certain situations because I knew I was dealing with somebody who I didn't know that well. And I knew it's like, yo, because I don't know this dude that well, it's like I say certain things that I say to anybody, but because I just noticed that this dude's carrying and I don't know him that well, it's like, even if I thought I could handle the situation, or even, you know, I'll just say, leave it at that. Even if I thought I could handle the situation, that, like, I'm still not going to go there with him because I don't know him like that. So, you know, certain people, man, they act like they tough, this, that, and the third. But, like, man, a lot of people be sensitive, you know what I mean? And a lot of these situations that escalate into violence and stuff often happens because people aren't able to check their emotions in something that is really about, like, friendly competition. It's like, imagine racing somebody and then them getting mad and shooting you, right? It's like almost like with the whole Nancy Kerrigan joint when homegirl, like, literally hired somebody to basically, you know, try to cripple her, you know what I mean? Hit her in the knees or whatever, mess it up so she couldn't compete. Like, yo, competition is never that deep to me. You know what I mean? It's like, of course I want to be the best at what I want to do, but not enough that I'm trying to hurt somebody else who is standing in the way of me potentially seeing victory in a certain situation, whether it's money or something else. What's the joint I hear people say a lot nowadays? No one cares, be better, or work harder. Yeah, no one cares, work harder. That's what they say. So it's like, yo, if I take that L, they say some joints was out of pocket or whatever. I knew what I signed up for. So next time around, I just got to do better. Simple as that. I got to work harder, you know? But one situation that comes to mind, we did a show in New London, Connecticut. I got the video of that somewhere on like a DVD. And we were doing a show, and there was this crew of dudes in the audience who basically, were there for the open mic portion. And so they kept screaming during our set, like whatever the name of their crew was, the name of their set was. They kept yelling it out, and I was there with my UV dudes. And yo, they kept screaming it, blah, blah, blah. And so I couldn't understand what they were saying. So I called one of the dudes up. I was like, fam, I don't know what y'all dudes keep saying, but like, I'm trying to get clarity on what we talking about so we can keep pushing, get back to the show. So I called one of the dudes up. He get up there, and then he basically said it's the name of their crew, and they basically was waiting for us to hurry up and wrap up the show so they could get their shine on, and this, that, and the third. And I was just like, hey fam, listen, all due respect, we were paid to be here, right? So the people who organized this event, they paid us to be here. So we gonna do our thing, you know what I mean? And if y'all gonna be shouting this, that, and the third, do me a favor, send your best people, whoever your best dude in your crew is, since y'all so eager to get up on stage, send your best man up here right now. He go ahead and spit a verse, I'm gonna spit a verse, and if I body your mans, I'm gonna need y'all to shut the fuck up for the rest of the show. So it's just straight like that. I was like, yeah, man, it's like y'all screaming out a whole lot, but if your man come up here, and if he don't hold his own, whoever the best in your crew is, if he don't hold his own, I definitely need y'all to shut that up, bro, because we're up here working. Just show some respect. That's it. So long story short, they send a dude from their crew up there. He gets on the mic. He's like fumbling over his words, you know what I mean? He don't really, because I don't think he wanted to even be up there like that. He was good, we'll wait until later, but Screw called him out, he got up there, he ain't do whatever. I start spitting my acapella joint, some dudes got in their feelings, and before it escalated into anything physical, the owner basically kicked that crew of folks out because they were acting up front. He basically cut the show early. So we just spent the rest of the night chilling at the bar, drinking until everything died down outside, and then eventually drove home. So that's one incident where I saw it get physical, like around some potential battle stuff. But yeah, more times than not, it was chill. You know what I mean? Thank you for the question, sir. Calm is super underrated. 100% I agree. Yeah, we do, sir. We appreciate it. What's a hip hop hill you would die on, or a general hip hop hot or general hip hop hot takes? I will say, man, there's two hot takes with hip hop that I don't agree with, because I think it has to do with larger issues. One hot take, and these are my opinions, these are opinions I don't agree with. I'm trying to think of a hill that I die on for hip hop. And let me be specific too, these aren't necessarily hip hop. Oh, here we go. Like, here's one hot take. Let's start with this. It sounds like a hot take, but it's factual. Rap is not hip hop. You know what I mean? Let's be clear. Rap is a part of hip hop. It is not hip hop. A lot of times when people, this is something that, like, when I do speaking engagements sometimes, like, you know, especially when it's a predominantly black audience and stuff, like, you know, not even just a predominantly black audience, because I have a different conversation with black audiences about how we can do better to preserve this culture that started with us. And then also, like, you know, other communities that contributed, obviously, Latinos in particular. So my hot take, though, is that, you know, which again isn't a hot take, it's actually just the truth, is rap is not hip hop. So when people say things like hip hop is dead, they sound idiotic to me, because I know they're only talking about rap and maybe DJing, right? They are not talking about breaking, which, you know, like is on a larger platform now and starting to grow more and more globally. And then the same thing can be said about graffiti art. These are things that, like, oftentimes when people give their opinions on things hip hop related, they are never really speaking about those elements. And therefore, it's just a reminder that, you may think you are hip hop because you like rap, but I would beg to differ. Like, if the only thing you like is the music, that doesn't necessarily make you hip hop. I've kicked it with like people who the furthest thing from hip hop, but they love rap music. And that's cool. A lot of people like music. Who doesn't love music? But just because you love rap music does not make you hip hop. And it doesn't necessarily give you a pass to speak on the culture at large when your only knowledge of hip hop is through the lens of rap music, which more times than not does not discuss the other elements of hip hop. It doesn't talk about graffiti art. It doesn't talk about breaking. Sometimes it doesn't involve DJing. And on top of that, we know for a fact that some of us know that the fifth element of hip hop is knowledge. And we all can agree that a good amount of the hip hop that comes out on a mainstream level doesn't really concern itself with knowledge itself and educating others. It is there for entertainment purposes. So that being said, and on top of that, hip hop was anti-establishment. And so rap music, or the rap industry, or the music industry in general, is very much the establishment. So hip hop does not live in a corporate office, right? It's out here happening. It's happening in the streets amongst the people. You know what I mean? Hip hop can be found in so many places that don't have anything to do with money a lot of times. So I think that's probably my hottest take. And I'll die on that hill all day, and I will constantly be a person out here reminding people what the culture actually is versus what people believe it is. And I'm not saying things don't evolve over time, but that's one part of it that remains, that like there's no debate on that. You know what I mean? Those are facts. So so yeah, that's the hill I'm dying on. I would say the hot takes that I combat a lot of times is when people make statements about how hip hop is responsible for so much to the violence that we see happening day to day. And I feel like that is a lazy response. That is oftentimes a response from people who don't really care about those particular issues, because if they cared about those particular issues, their voting records would say so, right? They'd be voting for people who have a history of putting certain community-based things in place or whatever to combat some of these issues, or applying resources to things that would address some of these issues, because some of those same issues and concerns are things that existed long before hip hop as a culture existed and before rap music, and clearly they weren't addressed, hence why we're here. So so that's another thing I'd probably go to war with anybody on that, you know what I mean? And the last one, what are some of the greatest improvised or unplanned moments that happened during your shows? That's a great one. Yo, man, hey, bro, you got a future in podcasting, or at least working with someone and writing for them questions, bro. If you've never thought about that, you should definitely consider it. Greatest unplanned moments at shows. I'm trying to think. Man, it's so many, yo. So many. One would be, I'll just start with the one that happened this past year. Now, granted, it was planned out by Marcus D and Uyama Hiroto, but I didn't know it was going to happen. So, so Uyama showing up during our last show in Tokyo this past February, and surprising me. Like, I saw him at the venue, but I didn't see him bring his horn in. So I was just happy to have him there. You know what I mean? Teared up. Like, I almost teared up seeing this dude. Like, oh man, I was super happy that him and so many of the homies came up. But yeah, when he came on stage with his horn, I almost lost it, bro. I almost shed real tears and stuff. He came up and was playing Blessing It. And also played on Waiting for the Clouds. I'm pretty sure I teared up because I think he played Waiting for the Clouds first. So yeah, I was tearing up for real. So that was an unplanned moment, because me and Marcus literally went through the set, and then Marcus made some changes to the set last minute and gave me heads up, and I was like, why would we do that? He's like, just trust me. And then here comes Uyama, and so again, they were playing it, but it wasn't playing on my part. So trying to keep performing through that when that wasn't the game plan, was pretty amazing. That was definitely a great moment, and I think the fans appreciated it, if not as much as me, definitely more. Menacing in the calm, I'm comfortable in that. Let you talk because my impact will hold it down. Yeah, man, I feel you. Actually fully agree with that. We're missing the homie Soul Tiger, man. Yeah, shout out to Soul Tiger who's not here today. Play any substantial song on Spotify and let recommended autoplay. And that right there is more than enough how alive and active hip hop is. Word. Peace, Sub. How are you, man? I'm good, fam. Thanks for asking. I hope you can say the same, man. I hope you're doing well. My mom wanted to go into reporting originally. Guess I inherited from it. There you go. Hey, fam. You got a future there, man. That's so legendary. Is there video of that moment? I'm pretty sure Marcus D caught it. So if you go back to like some of his posts, going back to like February, I think you can find the clip there. More than enough proof. My bad. All good, man. I was struggling through it a little bit, but I think I got the point. All right, folks. On that note, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here, man. Happy Friday to everybody. Y'all have an amazing weekend, man. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thanks for supporting the channel. Those of you tuning in late, man, sorry, gotta go. But, you know, don't worry. I'll be back next week. And I'll actually be back a bit sooner for those of you who are subscribed on Patreon and Bandcamp. So, again, head over to patreon.com/substantial if you want to check out Substantial Weekly. Let's put that up on the screen so everyone can see. Yeah, man, Substantial Sundays is returning this Sunday, June 30th at 3 p.m. I'll be doing it via my Patreon page, but don't worry, I will be sending the link out for it via... what's it called? Via Bandcamp. I'll be sending that out. So look out for that. And yeah, man, I'll be playing some unreleased music and giving y'all some insight on some other things that I have not been talking about in a public space. So look out for that. I hope to see some of y'all there. Otherwise, I'm probably going to be up there for 30 minutes if no one shows by myself and stuff, and maybe still play a few things and leave the video there later. But it's always great when y'all show up, as it is every Friday when we do this. So hope to see some of y'all on Sunday. And yeah, man, to everybody else, man, y'all have an amazing weekend. Be safe. Take care of yourself and all that good stuff. All right, y'all. Peace, peace, peace.